a lot of you guys wouldn't believe, but I used to be 245.
Yeah.
245. I used to.
Thick.
Yeah, I was. Justin used to call. What would you call me? A pork sausage running down the racetrack, something like that.
I did not.
One of my track videos. All right, welcome to the Peak Performance Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Were you going to say something?
No. I bit my lip.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were going to say something.
No. Welcome to the Peak Performance Podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Today, we're going to be talking about something that I feel like a lot of people need to hear because, like Pastor Glenn says a lot of times on Sundays, exciting times we're living in,
Yeah.
right? I feel like a lot of people are going through some hard times right now. And we need to just talk about what are some things that we can do, say to ourselves, think, to be able to get through tough times.
Yeah.
You know, we'll be talking about some things that we think about to or stand on to help us get through some tough times.
Yep.
I mean, everybody's been through some hard times, right? So, where do you want to start, really?
Well, I want to start, first of all, by addressing the internet. Internet, ladies and gentlemen, if you hear some treadmill noise going on in the background, the Mrs.
Yeah.
Steve is upstairs getting her cardio in.
Yeah.
So please don't give us heat for it.
Yeah. Hey, it's a fitness-based podcast.
It's a fitness-based podcast, dude.
And
She's up there getting after it.
She is. I mean, it's...
Well, we're just sitting down for the next hour.
Yeah. Listen, so what do I got so far right now? Let me check. I got 8,400 steps right now.
All right.
So not too bad. I was up at 5 this morning. I was on the treadmill.
There you go.
I got up. I was up at like 3:30.
I could not this morning, dude.
Really?
I wanted to get up and
Tired.
like getting ruck. Yeah, dude. I not only tired, but like completely smoked.
Really?
My body just absolutely refused to get out of bed this morning. It was rough.
Heavy. Like failure.
Yeah. Well, yesterday was like heavy deadlifts, and I was like, if I get up and I go for a ruck right now, my knees are gonna explode, and my back might not make it home. Like it was not good.
Yeah.
I went heavy yesterday, and then heavy bent over rows, and then heavy, machine cable rows, and like
It feels good though.
it
Like
does.
it hurts so good.
It does.
I want to share a victory also.
Send it.
Yesterday was the first day that I got back into deadlifting after hurting my back.
Oh shoot!
3 years ago at work.
What'd you pull, like 600?
Yeah, no, I ain't there yet. I felt like I could do more. I started off with just 200, and I did 12 of those, and I was like, I could do more, but I didn't want to like get like overconfident because my back felt good, and I was like, I kept going back. I'm like, let me just do a little more, and I creeped it up a little bit, and then
Planet has free weights now, doesn't it?
I had to do the Smith machine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes. But I counted for the counterbalance. Like, I looked that up. I don't like to, like, I've seen people post stuff, not to hate on Planet, but I've seen people post things on social media where they'll stack, like 2-3 plates on a Smith machine and say that they're benching 215, 315. Like, you're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That the Smith machine bar at Planet Fitness is only 20 pounds.
Yeah.
So you have to accommodate for that. I don't like to be cheated. So I definitely accommodate for that. It looks a little weird because, like, in my mind, I'm like, this, like, you know what I mean? You see how many plates are on there. I'm like, this looks like this weight, but it's not. You know what I mean? So anyways, that's where I started. That was my starting point. And I'll go up from there. And when I get to the point where, I feel like, really piling on the weight, I'm definitely probably going to switch to a different gym. So that, I'll probably come down there.
Yeah.
Buddy. Listen, shout out to Matt Donnie at ABC, man. He literally has the best gym in the area when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
And next week you'll get to meet one of the freaks that I get to train with on the regular. So,
Kyle.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'll be meeting him too. So I can't wait.
Steve will be meeting him for the first time.
Yeah.
And y'all on the internet will be probably not meeting him for the first time, because most of you that are going to watch it are probably already like following him and doing whatever. But for those of you that aren't, you're in for a treat. For someone that's going to make me look absolutely tiny, and it's hilarious.
Well, make you look tiny. What about me?
Yeah.
I look tiny to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it's
I'm just a little guy now, man. You know what I mean? A lot of you guys wouldn't believe, but I used to be 245.
Yeah.
245. I used to...
Thick.
Yeah, I was... Justin used to call... What would you call me? A pork sausage running down the racetrack, something like that?
I did not.
One of my track videos, you did. You were like, it's like a pork sausage. But I was winning, though.
Looking like the fastest sausage link on the track right now.
Yeah. It's true. But I had speed. Hey, any of my football buddies out there, comment and back me up, man. I was strong, fast, and agile. I didn't come off the field, but I was thick. I was thick, you know.
So are we like committed to the DJ look tonight? We're committed to it, huh?
It does not look. Do you want me?
I'm not gonna join. I'm just asking if we're committed.
Check 1, 2. I think I like it like this.
All right.
Yeah, I think it looked good. I can still hear.
It look at it
just
good.
to make sure I don't go in and out. But no, I like it.
It look at it good.
It look at it good. Stick it tune.
Stick it tune.
Stick it tune. Stick it tune. There it is. First of all, y'all, stick a tune for Justin's up and coming car YouTube videos.
Yeah, dude.
And we're starting a new channel with our passion for cars. So we just started shooting that the other day. So.
So stick a tune.
Stick a tune. You guys watch the videos, you'll understand that inside joke. So yeah, that was my victory. Being able to get back in and deadlift. I can't wait. Because I'm such an extremist, I have to make sure that I don't get overly confident.
Yeah.
And then go back to square one.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna. It ain't much.
Add 10 pounds a week, dude.
Yeah.
That's it.
So, yeah, that was it.
Hell yeah, man.
So
I love it. That's what I'm doing with my deadlift is 10 pounds a week.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, I made some big jumps like the past 3 or 4 weeks just because I kind of know where my base is. But once I found, all right, this is pretty close.
Yeah.
10 pounds a week.
So when you add your 10 pounds, you're going back down in reps by?
No, everything that I'm doing right now
reps?
is just singles.
Oh, okay.
Just singles. Just one.
Yeah.
And then walking away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Resting for a while or till you're ready.
Oh, no. Work up to a single. Not a 1 rep max.
Okay.
But
gotcha.
like a heavy single.
Yep.
And then that's it. And then move on to bent over rows and everything else. Yeah.
All right.
I'm trying just like a different avenue or method for trying to develop just straight up pure strength, because you're not really doing deadlifts for hypertrophy reasons.
Right,
you're not going to be getting bigger or whatever. I mean, you will, but I'm just doing it strictly for strength, like power to strength ratio. Like that's the only reason I'm doing it. So I don't really have a reason to do sets of 8, 10, 5, whatever.
Right.
Just do one, pull as much as you can, and then walk away.
Yeah. You know what I did notice, especially today. One thing that I do love about deadlift is it's not just like a single. It's like one of the biggest compound movements, right? You are literally using almost every muscle in your body.
Literally everything from the back of your skull, from the bottom of your skull, all the way to your heels.
Yeah.
Is 100% activated during deadlifts.
So what I'm feeling today the most is my rhomboids, my lower traps, my mid traps.
Yep.
Feeling those really well today, and I'm actually excited about that because I've been having, some shoulder issues, and the shoulder issues that I've been having, one stems from the way I took a hit in football when I was in high school.
Yep.
And I never really properly rehabbed it back, so I'm kind of taking care of business with that now. But also having like a weak rotator cuff. Like we've talked about that before. I've never really like worked my rotator cuff the way that I should be. And your scapula muscles. So when I pull the bar in a deadlift movement,
you got to really retract all that.
Really, right. And I'm really feeling that right now. I'm like, yes, that's what I need, So on top of doing the deadlift movement, I'm really making sure that I do some mornings and stuff like that to really hit that lower back, because that's the part that I hurt, you know, like an idiot. I lifted up this box, one of the heavy boxes that were like real fast, just you know, you know, just I literally just set it down so I knew how heavy it was, but when I went to pick it back up, I just wasn't thinking. I was like, oh yep, there it is, and I couldn't sit right. I was in bed for like 3 days, you know. So last time I tried to do like a heavy set of legs, I went over to the hack squat machine, believe it or not, loaded it up, and I felt the pressure on my back. I couldn't even do 1 rep with that because I felt the pressure in my lower back. So I was like, all right, well, let me move over to the leg press, and move over to the leg press.
Belt squat, dude.
Same thing.
You need the belt squat.
Yeah.
Belt squat kind of eliminates your lower back. It removes that from the movement entirely.
Right. So I'll try that then.
Yeah.
You know,
if they have one over there, I doubt they do.
No.
Yeah. That's all right. You'll come with me on one Tuesday night.
Come over to the dark side.
Come to the dark side. All right. So speaking about injuries and whatnot, like facing tough times, man, injuries are a part of that.
Yeah.
Dude, like I know for me, if I ever got hurt in the gym and like stuff like that, it would really mentally affect me.
Yeah. I just went through that last month. I re-injured my shoulder.
Yep. And
when I could have just still been in the gym, like working my legs and stuff like that, I threw a little hissy fit, and I didn't go to the gym for like 3 weeks. I was so pissed off.
Yep.
You know, so I was throwing a temper tantrum.
Yeah. It happens, man.
Yeah.
It happens, even as a grown man, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes you just got to throw a little temper tantrum and
but
move on.
It takes a little bit. It takes choice, right? Like you can sit there and choose to wallow in your self-pity.
Yeah.
Or you say, you know what, I don't have to sit here and I don't want to say and deal with this, because you do have to deal with it.
Yeah.
You know, but it's all how you look at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dude, that's what I'm like. One of the things on here, nothing lasts forever.
Nothing.
Right. So I wrote that in part of our notes, right? Nothing lasts forever. And there's a phrase from AA. So all my AA folks out there, you'll understand this, but this too shall pass.
Yep. So actually, yeah, let's talk about that, because in where's my notes? Oh,
they're right above it.
Yeah, in Ecclesiastes, you know,
time for everything. Is that where we're going?
A time for everything, man.
Dude, yep.
You know, life is a cycle. Life is literally a cycle of ups and downs. And the problem is that people always, we just want to live in the good times.
Yeah.
Right? We just think that life is going to be good all the time, but we never prepare for the down times. You know, we should always be preparing for, and not in like an anxious way.
Yeah. No, just like being what's the word I'm looking for? Grateful. Being in a position of gratitude.
Yeah.
That is all the preparation you need for those tough times, man. Well, not all of it, but that's that's some of the preparation you need for those tough times is just being in a constant state of gratitude.
Like gratitude of like what I have now.
Yeah, what you have now, and like, you know, what you will have at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, you have. How do I want to word that? That's all, folks. Yeah, just so being thankful for what you have and thankful for what you will receive at the end of the day. Meaning, right? So, like I said, this too shall pass. Mm-hmm. So therefore, at the end of the day, you're going to be right back where you were if you allow yourself and you put yourself in that mental state in order to be able to receive that at the end of the day. Does that make sense?
It does. I also think, stemming off the gratitude, I feel like a lot of people's problems come from always wanting more. You know what I mean? I think that because people always want more and more and more, and they're not grateful or thankful for what they have, they tend to stretch themselves beyond their limitations, and either, you know, they drive themselves into the ground, or, you know, like greed comes about and they put themselves in a bad financial situation because, you know, they overspent, something like that, you know, or overeat because you're not thankful for the food that you're given, like little stuff like that. So I think gratitude has a big thing, or has a big impact.
Yep. 100%, man.
Of why people get into trouble.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah. And also, it's just a massive source of peace.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I mean, what is peace without gratitude?
Right. Right. Just being present and thankful for where you're at right now. Yeah. You know, or even when people aren't grateful, it's not that they want more. Sometimes it's what they want, what other people have. I feel like I've heard that so much. Like I just, especially now with like, people are always big on finances, or you see people on TV that have the mansions and the cars. And
that's all rented, by the way, and like usually not even theirs.
Right. Yeah. Especially if we're talking about YouTube, that glitz and glamour stuff. It's a lot of people, they flaunt it. When it's rented, just to get the views. You know what I mean?
The views, and then also, buy my silly course that doesn't work.
Oh my man, I can't tell you how big of an issue that is.
Yeah, dude.
The gurus, right?
Yeah.
They always want you to spend more, and they get you on that fear of missing out.
Yeah. If they were as successful as they claim to be, they wouldn't be selling the idea that they have to people.
What do you mean?
They would just be doing it. They wouldn't be
right.
They wouldn't be, buy this program so you can be just as successsul as I am.
Yeah.
But you have to buy it. I didn't have to.
Yeah. And I think that comes from greed. Like, let's say that, they should be doing that, but there's probably people out there like, I have something that I can sell and make more money off of, but because they want to keep people in that fear of missing out. Like, do you want the next piece? Well, you have to buy this, and this next piece everything you've been doing only works if you have this next piece.
Yeah.
And then it's like that throughout the entire program. They just keep you linked.
I hate people like that, dude.
Dude, I took a business course, and that's how they didn't do it to. They didn't necessarily do it to me, but when they were telling me on how to run my business, they were constantly talking about how can you keep people in your program. While I can see from a business standpoint, right, from a worldly business standpoint, why that's important. Like, obviously, if people aren't in your program, you don't have a business, right?
Yep.
But from my standpoint, I would say a godly standpoint, and this, I feel like maybe this was Holy Spirit, was my job as a trainer is to work myself out of a job.
Yep.
I need to fill this person with so much wisdom that they can do this thing without me, and then in turn go and help other people. And if I have that mentality in that business plan, I have faith that God will always bring me more people.
Yep.
Because there's more people that need to know about nutrition and fitness, right?
Yep. Always.
So if I have that now, in a worldly aspect, that may not be the best business plan, right?
No. Well, yeah.
But without faith, it's impossible to please God, right? So with me with a mindset like that, I just feel like, if you're truly out to help people, you need to help them work your way out of a job so that they don't need you. Obviously, keep relationship with people, but send them on their way. And that's how we make the world a better place.
Yes.
Not like, let me keep you here and try to make more money off of you and squeeze money off of you. You know what I mean? It's just, that's not right, No. So, gratitude, very, very big thing, One thing I have that I want to talk about is perspective. I can speak today.
Yeah, you're good.
Perspective.
Right. I already struggled.
Yeah. It's very important. I always say how we see things is how we do things. How we view a situation will determine how we respond to it and how it affects you, right? The analogy that I use a lot is, you could have two veterans. Shout out to the veterans, by the way. Thank you for your service. You could have two veterans that go through the same scenario, same battle scenario. Maybe they were even in the same unit. And one comes out a victim, right? Comes back, you have no idea what I've been through, and just takes a complete downhill. You know what I mean? And mind you, we don't know what they've been through, what they've seen. But then you could have the same person in that same unit come out as, you have no idea what I've been through, and this is why I'm strong. You know what I mean? Like, that same situation made them stronger, to where that same situation made somebody a victim. You know what I mean? So it really depends on how you view things. You know what I mean?
You ever like think about this too? If you go into a situation and like, for example, you go to a whatever store, right? And if you're like, oh man, if they don't have item XYZ, I'm going to be so pissed. Right? And you walk in and they don't have item XYZ. You've already primed yourself now mentally to just be in that, I'm pissed.
Yep.
It's like, well,
Yep.
is it really that big of a deal, dude?
Right.
Or, you know, I'm using a super small example, but still that can go from, you know, anything.
Yeah. You know, like you're that's where you're leading your body. Like you're already telling your body,
Yep.
you know.
This is the response I'm going to have to the situation.
Right. Where the mind goes, the body follows.
Yeah.
So it's like, when we go in here, if they don't have this, we are going to be so mad. You know what I mean? Do you understand me? We're going to be so mad. And it's not even just about just the store. Like you said, it's a small example, but people do that on a bigger level where it's like, if he's not home by the time I get home, I'm going to be so mad. You know what I mean? It's something like that, you know? If somebody talks to me like that, I'm going to give them a piece of my mind. Like that's a pride thing, right? You know? So yeah, it's how you speak to yourself on a daily basis. It's not just like, it may take starting off like one step at a time, one situation at a time. But the thing about the victim mentality is like, it doesn't help you whatsoever. It's meant to keep you stuck, and complaining about what's happening doesn't pull you out of the situation any faster. Right. You know, the reality is that you're at where you're at. And what I say all the time to myself in a hard time is like, all right, I'm here. I need to get something from it. And I always tell myself, I'm not leaving empty-handed. I'm in this hard situation. I'm not leaving empty-handed. You know,
that's a good mentality to have.
Yeah, it's like, I'm either gonna get growth from it. I'm gonna get patience. In hard times, you could build a new relationship. You know what I mean? Or even just grow closer to God. I'm getting something from this. Yeah. You know, when years ago. Little backstory, when I was going through anxiety and depression, I was put on a whole cocktail of medications, and I touched on this a little bit in a previous episode, but when I was going through that, I had a lot of ups and downs mentally, whether it be from the medications I was on, if they were causing the symptoms, but I would just have what did they call them? They weren't irrational thoughts. They were there was a specific term for it. I'll look it up, but this sucks that I'm drawing a blank on it. But it's just thoughts that just appear in your head, and you don't know where they came from, but you get super scared of them, right? And it's just a response. And I never knew how to tame those. And in that moment, everything felt so real. Whatever symptoms I was feeling, whatever thought that I had, it felt extremely real. You know what I mean? And no matter who I talked to, you know, I was in that at this point, I was in that victim mentality. Like, why is this happening to me? I just don't want it anymore. Yeah. And I think in those times, I never thought of, I'm going to get something from this. I'm going to win this thing. I don't think I had that. I think at that time, I just want to get out of this. I want to stop feeling nervous all the time. It wasn't even scared. I had this nervous feeling 24/7. You know what I mean? And then getting off the medications, we've talked about that before, was a different nightmare. Jordan Peterson talks about it in one of his books, To Hell and Back. And you don't wish that on anybody. You know, it's one of, they actually say it's
dude, benzo withdrawal is a freaking real thing.
Yeah, man. It's rough. Some people lose the ability to walk. Yeah. For some years until your system recovers, you know what I mean? But it's harsh. Yeah. And in the middle of it, because your nervous system is trying to regulate, the only thing you're thinking about is like, I just want to get out of this. I just want to get out of this. Why me? Why me? And you hear people talk about that, like people with cancer and stuff like that. They're like, why me? Why me? Yeah. And you know, the people that have the victim mentality are the ones that stay there. Yep. You know, and you don't want them to stay there, you know, but my mentality has shifted when I finally got fed up of running away from what my problem was. You know, I was just like, no, I'm not going out like this. You know what I mean? I'm not going out like this. You're not going to punk me. You know what I mean? What's that one movie, Next Friday? You ain't gonna be punking me when we hit 40, Craig, right? No, well, that's a comedy, but that used to be like my mentality was like, no, you're not gonna punk me. You know what I mean? So,
you know who else can relate to that whole like random thoughts that you have no idea where they come from and stuff like that, and having to sit back for a second and be like, all right, this isn't real. Yeah. Like, calm down. Yeah. Dudes on the gas.
Dudes on
like on steroids, man.
Yeah.
Like there are some times. Yeah. There are some times where you're sitting there and like you may think that somebody wronged you.
Yeah.
And you just immediately you start just formulating, you just start going straight off the edge, and you just got to sit back for a second. Sometimes for those of you that have these sorts of side effects, man, just take a deep breath. Take a step back.
Yeah.
Just go, all right, this isn't real. This isn't as big a deal as I think it is.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Yeah.
And then we'll readdress the situation in a minute. I
was actually watching a YouTube video on I forget who it was, but he was talking about his gear use, and he said, you know, I'm on like 25 times the amount of like that's natural, right? And he was just like, it wasn't the exact figure, but he was just like, I'm on a lot, pretty much, right? And he just said, every day I wake up, I just feel anxious. It's the moment I wake up. He's like, I feel anxious. He's like, I'm scared to go outside. You know, he's like, but this is what I do for my sport.
Yeah, you know there's a couple drugs that'll do that specifically to you. We can get into those in another
episode. But it's no different from, you know, when I was on these antidepressants. You know what I mean? And every time I went back to the doctors, I thought something was wrong for sure, because that's how it felt. I was feeling these very, very real symptoms. You know what I mean? And it got so bad that it interfered with literally my daily life. I'd be in bed for days. Yeah, you know what I mean? Sometimes I'd get up and I would just start panting, like just completely out of breath. My vision I'd get like all these tingles, and it was the worst thing ever, you know, to just feel like even if somebody called me, to just pick up the phone and be like, hello, you know what I mean? It's just like I couldn't catch my breath, and you were constantly thinking about your breathing. We can go into it in a different time, but it just felt like hell. It felt like hell, and in the middle of it, I was just like, man,
this too shall pass, brother.
And I kept thinking of like, it's gotta pass at some point. You know, but one thing I had to do was I had to change how I was responding. I was responding in such a way that I was running from it, but I was standing still because I was running from it, you know, instead of facing it head on. And you want to know what worked? Whenever I felt those things, I literally just sat with it, and I responded to it in a neutral way to where I didn't have a response. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
So like,
you're staring at the Oreo cookie.
Yeah, but I was just like, I was looking at like, I feel no emotion for you type of deal, right? Because I was at that point where you know you could go on YouTube and there's going to be so many how to relieve your stress, how to do deep breaths, right? Like all that stuff. None of that worked. Because what was happening was every time I saw this thing that I deemed fearful or unwanted, I was training my body that is a danger. Right? So internally, my body was like, okay, something's wrong. Let's go into fight or flight. Even if I was trying to deep breathe, because that was my weapon for that. It didn't work. So what worked was me literally responding to it in a neutral way. You know what I mean? So in those hard times, if you're feeling some type of way, I don't want to say if it's unpleasant, because hard times are unpleasant, right? But you don't have to wallow in your self-pity and make things worse, right? And I think the biggest thing that makes things worse is by doing nothing. You know what I mean? Now, man, I feel like that could go so many ways. If you feel like you need to respond by doing nothing, I feel like that's having faith in God, right? Like you're saying, like, I don't have to do anything. I know God is going to move on my behalf, right? But if you're doing nothing with that victim mentality of like, oh, I don't wanna, that's
the Eeyore.
That's a big difference, right? There's no growth in that. You know, so
for those of you that are too young to know what Eeyore is, just like go get on the Google and like go get after, like, you know, on the Google, type in Winnie the Pooh Eeyore, and then you'll figure it out. You young bucks out there, you'll get it eventually.
We're aging ourselves.
I know, dude.
Even
whatever.
I'm way older than you.
Yeah, it's fine. I won't judge you for it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That was very nice of you.
Yeah.
So step number one, man, is to change how you look at it. You know, you don't want to attack every problem in your life from a victim mentality, because it doesn't do anything. You know, and also prepare. Like, you have to know that even Jesus said it, you know, in life there's going to be trials.
Yeah.
Right there. 2,000 years ago, he warned everybody on the planet, hey guys, listen, your life is going to be full of trials. There's going to be people that persecute you, right? But blessed are those who keep their cool, right? And who persevere through those times, right? I forgot what I was just going to say. I was on a roll. That happens all the time.
It's all good.
Can anybody else relate with that?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I usually, well, yeah, actually I can.
You can?
My brain is just malfunctioning
Scattered.
at all times.
We're very scatterminded.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's
I mean, if the first 15 minutes of the podcast didn't kind of give that away, we were talking about like training entirely.
Yeah, everything.
Nothing to do with the topic at hand.
Oh, this is what I wanted to say. When you're preparing, right? Years ago, Monica and I, when we sat down to do our budget, we were following the Dave Ramsey plan. And shout out to Dave Ramsey and everybody that does it, right? We never prepared for a car to break down, ever. We never had a vehicle maintenance fund. So when we do our budgeting now, I mean, we've been doing this for years now, we always put a certain amount of money aside for vehicle maintenance, because you have a vehicle, it's going to break down.
Yeah.
It will.
Unless it's a Toyota.
I actually had 2 Toyotas.
You know what? No one asked you.
I have worked on my fair share of Toyotas. They're good running cars. Yeah. But they will break down.
They will.
Whether at 100,000, 150, 250. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's gonna happen. It's no surprise, right?
Yeah.
But what do? Here's a prime example, right? We don't put money aside to prepare for the breakdowns. Then the vehicle breaks down. You're like, oh, yep, go figure, right?
Yeah.
I was just starting to save money.
Yeah.
Right? It's not a surprise, y'all. It's preparing, right? So when the car does break down, most of the time we have all the funds to take care of it, right? It's like, oh, no sweat.
There it
is.
is.
The vehicle maintenance fund.
Yeah.
Boom, right? But there's times where you have those big ticket items, right? Where it's like, oh man, this went, okay, well, how much do we have in the vehicle maintenance? Okay, we have 700 in there and this is 1,000. Thank God we only have to fork out 300.
Yeah.
Right? It's preparing for those bad times. So really it comes down to, most of the time when you're going through a hard time, are you mismanaging? You know what I mean? Are you not preparing?
Yeah.
Right? How are you preparing yourself to go through those times? Because Solomon said, life, it's cyclical.
Yeah, dude. Preparation is key, dude, especially for going through hard times. Like, you have to know, like I said before, I'll say it again, you know, this too shall pass, right?
Yeah.
So that goes for good times too, man. That's not just, I mean, it's a thing to hold on to while you're going through some struggles.
Yep.
But it's also a thing to hold on to when you're going through the good times. Like, you need to keep that in the back of your mind. Hey man, not from like a point of dread or like a viewpoint of dread or like, you know, anxiety or whatever.
Right.
But it's a reality, man.
Right.
So this too shall pass. So let's prepare for that time that's going to be hard, because it's coming.
Yep.
Eventually.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah. The trials are going to come, man. You know, that's
why like spiritual and you know, fitness, spiritual fitness, I say, is mega important, right? Because what are you going to have to rely on in those hard times?
Right.
It's either going to be yourself, which the flesh is fallible, or it's going to be God and faith.
Right.
And in that case, all right, now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I mean, let's talk about that. What if you stand on worldly strength?
Yeah.
It doesn't last. It doesn't last because it doesn't hit the spirit, man. It only touches the flesh, you know. But if we're talking about, you know, really strengthening our spirit, you know, because Paul tells us we should live by the spirit, not the flesh.
Yeah.
That's where, like, you hear people say, man, he got some heart, right? That's in the spirit, man. You know, when we're talking about our heart, we're talking about our conscious spirit. You know what I mean? The spirit that lives within us. And that's what really drives us through those hard times, you know, and that's what we got to strengthen. And that's what we have to live through. You know, we have to live through that door, that avenue, because like you said, the flesh, man, it's so manipulative, and it's so there's an old saying where there's peace within, no man on the outside can do no harm. You know what I mean? And that's true, bro. You know, if you have a strong heart and your spirit is strong, there's nothing that can it may harm you physically, right?
Yeah.
But it ain't gonna stop you. You know what I mean? Unless they end you 100%.
Unless they stop you.
Right, unless they stop you, you know what I mean? But to get through those hard times, man, you just keep going.
Yeah, dude. So I mean, like, I can speak to you know, the other thing, right, with addiction, right? So I went through a pretty intense few years of being like pretty deep into, you might have to bleep this out afterwards, but like heroin and cocaine, man. We don't have to bleep that out. It's real. Yeah.
People are relating.
Oh yeah, I don't know if YouTube's guidelines or whatever, you know, we're not recommending that anybody go out and do that.
Right.
But yeah, so I was deep into that for a little while. Finally, I ended up, you know, I got clean and whatnot, and for the first, you know, I don't know, 3 years maybe of sobriety was basically my own willpower. 100%. Just me. Like, I kind of, I thought it was me, right? I thought it was me and my own willpower. Just, nope, I'm not doing this anymore. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah.
You know, come to find out, like, doing a little bit more introspection and stuff like that, like, I genuinely think that's something, like, that God just straight up took from me. Like, that wasn't entirely me. Because I know myself, and I have an very addictive personality.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure that's something that God just straight up took from me, because, you know, I went from one day, literally, I should be dead.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So overdosed on cocaine. Had a 15-minute seizure, and I don't know if you know anything about seizures, but
I had one when I was little.
Yeah. Basically anything longer than like 5 minutes, and you're getting permanent brain damage. Not to say that didn't happen. It's a very real possibility.
we just said we were scatterminded. Is that what's wrong with both of us?
Maybe. Mine's self-induced idiocy.
I was having a seizure while I was choking on a cheese puff when I was little.
Dude.
True.
That sucks. So anyway, so that at that moment, you know, my mom tells this story all the time. I'll try not to get too emotional. But long story short, that night when I was ODing, she actually had a dream, and she was essentially fighting demons in this dream, and called on God to, you know, she was fighting, couldn't fight him off herself, called on God, and this big white light just filled her dream. All of them were gone, and then the next day she found out that I OD'd, and so we went to the hospital, blah, 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 blah. By the time we got to the hospital, my heart rate was still, so this is hours and hours and hours afterwards, my heart rate was still in the 160s, I believe. So yeah, long time at a very elevated heart rate. Anyway. Yeah. But yeah, so long story short, that is kind of just a testament to God in general. Yeah. And, you know, leaning on God and not your flesh, right? So that's where I was going with that whole long story, was, you know, you can do a lot with your own flesh. But when times actually get hard, you gotta lean on God a little bit. Yeah. You know? Yeah.
I get the goosebumps, man, from that story. Man, God is so good, man. You know, and I just want to add to, you know, you said that whole story of, you know, God took it from you and you didn't do it yourself. I can relate to that with what I was going through in that time, because I was at the end of my wits. I remember being at home, and Monica and her mom went someplace, and bro, I don't even know what it was, It wasn't a panic attack. I wasn't just hyperventilating, but I literally felt like I lost all breath in my body. And I've only felt this once. The inside, it almost felt like my insides, my stomach, my intestines, everything like shut down, because it just got like, it just felt like it's like super tight internally, and I was I couldn't breathe, and I was starting to black out, and I just dropped, man. I dropped to, we were at Rim Brave at the time, our old house, and I dropped to the floor, and I was trying to call on God, and I couldn't get it out, and just in my mind, I feel like I was just calling out to him, and at the last sec, I felt like I called Monica, and phone was ringing, and she picked up. She's like, "Hello," and I'm like, I couldn't even get the words out. I was like, dude, I can't even get through it, man. I felt like I was dying, 100%, and she just happened to be pulling in, and she came in and she prayed for me, and all of a sudden my breath went. Don't even know what it was, bro, but God took that, you know. So we don't want to sit here and act like we do it all on our own, you know. Definitely 100% God, man. Yeah. And I don't ever want to leave that out, you know. It's trials, man. It's trials, you know. Woo. Hey, man, we like getting deep on here, right? Yeah. We like getting deep, but we persevere, and that's, if we didn't go through that, there would be no this. Yeah. There would be no this. And we got something from it. Yeah. It was the patience to persevere. It was growing closer to God and learning to depend on him, you know, and that's how we have to be in our tough times. You don't prepare for that. Nah. That's type of stuff. Right. I didn't prepare for that. Yeah. So you prepare for what you can, right? Yep. I feel like I'm kind of contradicting what I said, but it's, you prepare for what you can, and then you have faith for the rest. Yeah. You know, and thank the Lord for godly parents, man. Yeah, dude. You know. Yep. Thank the Lord for godly parents, man, because man, my mom used to force me to go to church.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah. Thanks, Mom. You know, but after experiences like that, man, how can you not go and give God the grace and the glory honor that the glory that he deserves? That's what I meant, you know. So used to pray the armor of God over us every day before we left the house. Yeah. Yeah. So
for those of you that didn't hear what she just said, is their mother used to pray the armor of God over them every night or every day before they left the house.
Yeah. Yeah. Mom's a prayer warrior. That's 1,000%. Yeah. 1,000%. I wish that I was half the prayer warrior that she is. You know what I mean? So, woo.
Damn, we're gonna have to like take a minute or something.
Yeah, I know, man. I know. And you know what the crazy thing is?
I'm getting dehydrated over here or something.
Yeah, so I'm all like cotton mouth. You know, but the crazy thing is that's just like one part of the struggle. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we sit here in front of the cameras and we talk about don't be a victim, right? Mm-hmm. But you have to go through these hard times in order to get to these places. You know, one of the verses that I love, that I stand on a lot is James 1:2-5, where he says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kind, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." That's the only way you get complete, y'all. That's the only way that you level up, you know? Another thing I used to say to myself is when I'm going through a hard time, that's when I should rejoice, because I know I'm about to level up. Yep. Like that's the next boss.
That's cool. I like that. I'm taking that.
You know what I mean? Yeah. that's the next boss. but you know what I mean? That's the only way we get there, man. That's in the gym. That's the only way we get there, by adding 10 more pounds every week. Yep. You know what I mean?
So all right, let's not like add 10 pounds of struggle every week.
No. Yo, can I tell you? So, you know,
be careful what you pray for, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I'm trying to say.
For real, but when you pray for strength, don't God be like, okay, I got you, and He adds 10 pounds of struggle, like, oh, there you go. You know what I mean? But it's out of love.
Yeah.
Right. Like from a father's standpoint, when I want my kids to grow, I actually make them struggle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if I did everything for them, they would become so dependent on me that they would have zero strength at all.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So when my kids are like, Daddy, can you get this? Sometimes, yeah, I'll help you. You know what I mean? But if you can 1000% do it yourself, you're doing it. Yes. You know what I mean? Yeah. Can we take a moment? I don't know if you guys have ever heard this verse. So you know the verse that you always wear on your shirt, "Send me, I'll go."
Yeah.
That's gangster.
Here I am, send me.
That's gangster.
Isaiah 6:8.
Yeah. So I like that. That's gangster, right?
Here am I is what it is. Here
Right.
am I, send me. Yeah.
So one of I call it gangster verses of the Bible. Here's my gangster verse, right? It's Acts 20, 23, 24. It's Paul.
All right.
He says, except that the Holy Spirit testifies in every city saying that chains and tribulations await me, but none of those things move me. Ooh, I ain't scared.
I ain't scared.
Right? I love that. He's like, the Holy Spirit tells me that these things are going to happen, but I ain't scared. I'm going. Right?
Yep.
He says, nor do I count my life dear to myself so that I may finish my race with joy. That's gangster. I love that. When I'm like,
Paul's been in prison a lot.
Yeah.
He was in prison a lot. Man was a gangster.
He was a gangster, right? He didn't care who he offended.
Nah, man.
You know what I mean? So
relatable.
That's definitely one of the things I stand on. But going back to James, when he says, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. And then here's the key part, right? But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like the wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. That person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord, for such a person is double-minded and unstable in all they do. You can't be a victim and a victor at the same time.
Yep.
Can't be.
Yep.
They don't go together. You know, so if you're going to go to God and ask for wisdom, go expecting to get armor, expecting to get a weapon to go at your thing with, right? And do it with him, right? You can't be like, are you sure you're going to be there? I just don't know.
Just hit my head on the wall.
You know, you can't go at that.
Yeah.
You know, it's you're all in. You got to be all in. I know it's hard sometimes, man. I've struggled with it too.
Yep.
But when I've struggled with it, I've noticed it, I've recognized it, and I've repented. I'm like, Lord, all right, I'm expecting you to show up. You know, and that's half the battle too, is just expecting God to show up in those hard times.
Yeah, dude, that's hard to do. That's very hard to do.
Yeah.
I mean, especially I'll speak for myself. You know, I am a very naturally kind of skeptical person. So it is hard for me.
Do you think because you're very smart, do you think it's because, and I almost
that's
feel
a relative term, ladies and gentlemen?
No, but but for as long as I've known you, I feel like you have like an engineering mind. You like to take things apart and know the why, and then you also like to know how they go back together and run efficient.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's one of the reasons why you're so skeptical, because you see something and you're like, well, those dots don't line up. Why not? And that's very hard. And I'm partially like that too. Yeah. Right. Because a lot of things for God, they line up, but they don't line up in a worldly.
They don't line up the way you want them to.
Right. Yeah. Because he can see things in other ways than we can, you know?
Yeah. I mean, so basically, like for me, it just straight up, like, I think this is maybe a little bit of a generality, but I think some of the most skeptical people, when they turn to God, are probably some of the strongest believers, because they have to put all of that skepticism aside and be like, listen, this is it. Yeah. I don't care about any other, viewpoint or anything. You know what? This is just me and you right now, God. Yeah. And that's that. That takes a lot, because you're going against your personality too. Yeah. Like your actual skeptical personality, you're fighting your flesh. Like that's that war. We were just kind of talking about this on Fridays, on Friday night. You have to die to yourself, right? Daily. Yeah. And that's part of it, man. I love that, man. I've been praying that a lot
lately, actually. You know, partially was when I was going through my shoulder thing. I was making good progress, and then I didn't even do anything crazy, man. I was just doing overhead presses, and for some reason it irritated it, and the whole thing was. I got pissed off.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, every time I start making some good moves, this happens. And I had to die to that. And I was like, no, I'm just gonna push back, you know. And Molly, that's not like the biggest deal, you know. To some people, are like, oh, whatever, you hurt your shoulder, whatever. But you don't understand, like when it's something that's important to you.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I'm saying? It really hits hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. I know for myself, man. I would get like when I was really training, like specifically with a big purpose and, you know, going for it. If there was she can testify to this too, like if there was a bad night in the gym, you know, there had been nights where I'd come home from the gym, I'd stop at, you know, liquor store on the way home. Just as soon as I get home, bang, there's a liter of Makers right on the table.
Yeah.
Fucking see you tomorrow, dude.
Yeah. Yo, night.
Yeah, dude.
Drinking till I sleep.
That is not a healthy way of dealing with that at all.
It's not.
That's terribly unhealthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't do that.
Right. But you had to make that choice and put that aside and die to yourself.
Exactly.
You know?
I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've all been through that.
Yep.
I was heavy into that.
Yeah.
Alcoholism. There was a point where I was drunk from Wednesday to Saturday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I recovered on Sunday. I would work Monday, Tuesday. I would work the rest of the week too. I still worked a lot, but
just hung over.
Yeah. Wednesday through Saturday, man, I was drunk.
Yeah.
You know, until one night I ran through all the money in my bank account.
Oof.
Yep. I was at a bar and gave my card and I just throw it on my tab. And you get to that point of obliteration where you're just like, you want one? Throw it on my tab. You want one? You throw it on my tab.
Never me, dude. I'm way too cheap.
Dude, I didn't care, man. I didn't care. And it got to the point where the bartender, who thankfully was a friend of mine, she came up and she's like, Steve, your card got declined. I'm like, I know how much money is in it. Like, me ain't even that drunk. I know how much money is in there. There's no way it got declined. No, your card got declined. I woke up the next morning, man. And so if I remember correctly, there was a couple $1,000s in there. I'm pretty sure it was like 23 or some change, right? I ran through all of it, bro. All of it. Now, it didn't go all to my liver, but I ran through it pretty fast.
Yeah.
And she's like, your card got declined. When I woke up I shouldn't say the next morning, over the course as things were coming out.
You woke up over the next 3 days.
I know. I was negative, man. Yeah. You know, and it took that for me to say, I'm never drinking again.
Yeah.
And since that day, it's been 10 years. On November 25th, it was 10 years.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, 10 years since I've had a sip of any alcohol.
Yeah, man.
You know, so yeah, it takes stupid stuff, man.
Yeah,
stupid stuff to learn your lesson.
Yep.
And you just have to be sick of it enough.
Yeah. To
just be done with it.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of the hard times we go through are 100% self-inflicted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those things. Mom used to say, if you're not gonna listen, you're gonna learn. You know what I mean?
Oh, if you're not gonna listen, you're gonna have to feel.
Yeah, feel right. If you're gonna listen, you're gonna feel, and yeah, you feel every little bit of that, man.
Yeah.
You know, because truth is, when I was 18, I just turned 18. Now, mind you, obviously we're all teens, and we all go to the parties, and we were drinking, underage drinking, right? I had hit my head and I needed stitches. And I told myself then at 18, I was never going to drink again because it was stupid, right? That didn't work out. Then I actually turned 21. Yeah. So I went 18 to 21. I didn't drink anything, right? So 21, it was my birthday for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was just my birthday for 2 weeks. I was 21 every day for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know what I mean? And I got heavy into drinking again, man.
Yeah, that's not awesome. Actually, I just think it's funny.
It's funny.
It's not awesome.
It's funny, right? Yeah. You know. So, but yeah, it took it. So, I was 25, 26 when I stopped drinking. Yeah, no, 27 because it's 10 years.
Yeah,
I'm 37 now. Don't judge me. I'm about to be 40.
That's all right. I'll be over here in my.
You just turned 30 this year.
I just turned 30, dude.
Dang, man. Wow.
Yeah, it's all good.
I remember 30.
Yeah. Almost a decade ago.
Come on. Why you gotta put it like that, man? Why you gotta put it like that? Come on. I thought this was a judgment-free zone.
It's all good. We had a heartfelt moment. Now I need to make fun of you.
Now you gotta bet. Yeah. All right. Enough with the smushy stuff. The sympathetic stuff. Enough of that. Right.
I gotta get hard again.
Yeah. You know. Come on, man. Come on. So yeah. But here's the thing. One of the best points we have here on the sheet is without struggle, victory has no meaning.
Yeah, dude. Yep.
You know,
that is so true.
You don't win if there's nothing to win at.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one thing. So when I was being mentored by Andy, shout out to Andy for all your godly wisdom when you were mentoring me. When I was going through problems.
Does he watch?
I think he does. If he does,
sweet.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
But one thing he said to me, and after he said this to me, I took some time to pray about it, and being my mind, I would actually, research it, right?
Yeah.
As dumb as this sounds, what I'm about to say next, I researched it.
Yep.
Humans by nature are natural problem solvers, right? So anytime I would come to him and say, I'm going through this problem, he'd always say, nice, awesome. Like he would cheer that I was going through this problem.
Yeah.
And then because I had Knox at the time, I always said, I just don't want to see my son. I just don't want my son to see me going through this problem. And he would say, why not?
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say, well, because I don't want him to think this and this. And he's like, but he gets to watch you work it out. And then that's how he's going to grow from it.
Yep.
And I never thought about it like that,
Yeah.
So when I would go through this, I realized that humans, by nature, are natural problem solvers. Every business that's ever been built solved a problem.
Yeah.
Every movie that's made, every TV show, what's the climax of the movie? The solving of the problem.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Everything. Humans are natural problem solvers. We actually thrive on solving problems, right? If we weren't, we would not be as advanced as we are today.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Correcto.
And this is why growth always happens during the struggle. When we're in a struggle, instead of being poor me, let's try to figure out the proper approach to the struggle.
Yeah.
Here's another thing I used to say to myself when I started getting like all like those weird thoughts, right? Mm-hmm. I would say, is there something you can do about it? If so, why worry?
Go through the flow chart.
Well, yeah, for real. I'd say, is there?
Yes, no.
Right. But it was only two things. I would say, is there something I can do about it?
Yeah.
If yes, why worry? Do something about it, right?
Yeah.
If no, why worry? There ain't nothing you can do about it. Just chill, right?
Yes.
And that's the way you got to live. It's like, is there something I can do about it? If yes, okay, it's this direction, right?
Mm-hmm.
If there's nothing you can do about it,
chill, man.
That's it. That's where you gotta let God come in and do His job.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I think about the Israelites, going through 40 years of a 11-day journey, right? I think that was what it was.
What?
Yeah, I think
so the journey was supposed to be 11 days,
but it took them 40 years because they were being so stubborn.
Yeah, well,
right? They weren't letting God be God.
Yeah.
Right? They were always, you'd hear him say, oh, why don't we go back to Egypt where we were at least fed? Right? Like a lot of people get stuck.
Oh, you mean you weren't being fed like for free from the sky every day? Homies?
Yeah, right.
Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
What are you talking about?
It just wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we could say the same thing for the Garden of Eden. Why did we have to bite the apple? Because the knowledge we had just wasn't good enough.
We didn't.
I know. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
We all sat there and watched. Okay?
I know. while we ate other apples, what's she doing?
We all sat there and knew better and said nothing.
I know. But for real, like when people get in struggles, they would rather go back to familiarity. Mm-hmm. Did I say that right?
No, but it's all right.
Familiarity.
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 Yeah.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah,
I'm glad you're on my team, bro. Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes my mouth just don't like to move the way that it should. So sometimes people want to go back to where they're comfortable, right? Then go through the struggle and get to the promised land.
Yeah, the phrase that I've always heard is the devil you know is safer than the devil you don't, right?
Yeah. Nobody wants to meet that next boss on the level, you know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, it's just, sometimes you just have to let God do his thing, you know? Like we said before, without faith, it's impossible to please God, you know? So we can only do so much ourselves. And we just have to let God finish the work, you know? Stop being so hard-headed. Persevere and just keep going and let God come in and finish the rest, you know? What was the verse that you wanted to touch on?
Oh, dude, I got, so the two that I said, right, were, as far as like God getting us through hard times or tough times, man, I got two that really stick out to me, right? So Isaiah 41:10 and Psalms 144, 1 and 2. You got the computer. You mind hooking me up here? / reading one or both?
Yeah.
Yeah, Roger.
So Isaiah 41:10 is, do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand.
Yeah, that's a promise from God, dude. That's just like, you know, you look at that and all you need to do is just think, all right, that's your word right there.
Yeah.
You know, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what, I know you got my back.
Yeah.
As long as I have faith in you and I believe in you and whatever, I do my part. I know you're going to do yours because you promised it to me. Yep. So I like getting anxiety and stuff like that. It doesn't really happen for me much at all anymore. I don't really worry about a whole lot.
Yeah, I can say the same, man.
Yeah.
Just because God has shown me so much on how he's shown up, you know, like you said, it's a promise. And what is a promise? When somebody makes a promise, you're expecting it. You know what I mean? I use that word expect a lot, right? Because it's in stone. I feel like, you know, I'm expecting you to do it, right? That is like a firm faith foundation, you know, and when God promises something, he almost just wants to show off. And I guess that's how I have to think about it. It's like, all right, God said this, that he's going to. Let me see him work. And it takes me stepping back or working with him. Sometimes you got to be diligent and let God come alongside of you. Yeah. Because a lot of people, you see them say like, well, I'm not going to do anything and watch God do his thing. Yeah. Sometimes it's not like that.
I don't personally, I don't really subscribe to that. Yeah. In most cases, there are some things, right? If there's literally nothing that you can do, then you got to sit back and let God do his thing. But if there's something that you can do, do it. You have to be doing that. Because like in my one of my like little beliefs or whatever is that God helps those who help themselves.
I think that's a proverb, isn't it?
Is it?
I think it is.
I don't know. Off the top of my head.
I love proverbs, man. But I think it is something like that.
Roger.
Yep. One thing that comes to my mind is there was a picture meme I saw, and it was this exact thing where it says what faith looks like to most people, right? When they say faith, this girl, she planted a seed in the ground, right? And just sat back and prayed. And then the next one is, this is what faith really is. This girl planted a seed and she's watering it. And while expecting God to grow the plant. Yes. Right? Because we all know sometimes you could water a plant and it not grow, right? Sometimes it just doesn't take. But it's the faith to know that God is going to grow this plant because you're doing your work and you're allowing him to do his. Yep. You know? So
100%.
So that's, I agree with that, man. Your next one was
Psalm 144, 1 and 2. More specifically, the 2, verse 2. But, you know, you can't really do 144 without reading 1 first, because it's like one of my favorites, like of all time, the Bible verses. You know, I actually have it on a shirt.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. This one is, praise be to the Lord, my rock, who trains my hands for war, my fingers for battle. He is my loving God and my fortress, my stronghold and my deliverer, my shield in whom I take refuge, who subdues people under me.
Yeah.
Hey, that's gangster.
Right?
I like that. Yeah.
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 That one's like I said, the second half of that is really kind of where it's at. He's my shield and my refuge. You know, that part just, you know, if you sit back and just believe on that, man, like that's kind of a, it's one of those things to live by. Yeah. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah. Well, you just got to let him be your shepherd. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just like that. It sounds Christianese, but it's like, well, it has to happen.
Yeah. You look at the role of what a shepherd actually does, man. A shepherd isn't just, you know, little old dude carrying around a cane, walking around with a bunch of sheep. No, dude, that shepherd, right? And we're all, as men especially, called to be shepherds of our families, of our communities, you know, especially as Christians, right? Yeah. What that shepherd actually does, man, is that shepherd is you know, looking after that flock, making sure that flock is well fed, well taken care of. If wolves come by and they're trying to get after the sheep, dude, that guy is running around with a cane, smacking that thing, dude. Yep. He's getting after it,
and he knows every single one of his sheep. Yeah, he knows which one is his, which one's not. He knows which ones act up and which ones listen. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Go ahead. It's just that whole, like, you know, this is, again, this is a little bit of a different topic, but getting into like Christianity is not pacifism.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Yep.
Like, you're out there, you're a shepherd, you're getting after some wolves, man.
Right.
You're not, you know, just sitting back and, you know, letting God take care of the wolves. No, you're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. And everybody has, you know, if anybody has read the Bible, we talk about the spiritual gifts. Yeah. Everybody has a gift. Everybody has a purpose of what they can be doing in their community to be shepherding in their own way. Yeah. You know what I mean? If you have the gift of serving, you're serving, and through that, you could be leading people to Christ, you know, because, you know, one selfless act always leads to another, you know? So when you're out and you're serving people in your community, you could be shepherding people to Christ. Yeah. You know, or at least it opens up, and being a shepherd doesn't mean that you have to be a pastor, right? You could just be a really good listener that knows how to give like little snippets of good nuggets, right? Yeah. Of advice and how to lead people through sound counsel, right? That's shepherding. You're literally guiding people to the right way to go, you know? So when people are saying like, I can't do that. It's like, the cool thing about the spiritual gifts is like, we all are dominant in one, maybe two, right? But we all have a sprinkle of every single one of them, right? We all have a little bit of mercy. We all have a little bit of prophecy. We all have, you know, like all of it. It makes up a generality, and all of us have some of it, and all of it's important. You know, some people just will look at the pastor on the stage and be like, I want to be like him. You know, I want him to pray for me.
Yeah. You know what? Who does he want to be like?
Right.
That's what you should be looking at.
That too. Yeah. But let's not negate who you are.
And also
that's one thing that I feel like has been on my heart in the Christian community, and maybe it's a movement that the Lord wants me to start or go into, is knowing who you are in Jesus. What is Jesus given you, right? Maybe that's not how I want to say it. Just recognizing who you truly are, who Jesus made all of us to be, right? Because in order to be a disciple, you have to have power, love, and self-discipline. And those are the three most powerful things in this world, man. Yeah. Power, love, and self-discipline. If you don't know that you have power, you're not going to be disciplined, right? If you don't have love, you are going to come off so cocky with power and self-discipline. Yep. You have to have all three of them. Yep. You know what I'm saying? We talked about this before, being a lion and a lamb. Yep. The one thing that I love that you were just saying, that all of us, especially men, are called to be shepherds. We're also called to be sheep. Yep. Only to Jesus.
Yes.
Right? Yep. He is our shepherd.
Yes.
He is who we should be following, right? As men, we are supposed to be priests, providers, and protectors, right? And the only way we can learn how to do that properly is through Jesus, right? If you pick it up from Andrew Tate, yeah. But a lot of guys look up to him. Yeah. A lot of guys look up to Andrew Tate, who's going in and just F this and F that. You know what I mean? Like,
first of all,
not trying to down him, but it's, where are you getting your counsel?
I'll be happy to down a known woman abuser. Yeah.
See,
Like,
I don't know much about him.
completely F that guy.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
For real.
Yeah.
Like I've seen videos of the dude beating the shit out of a woman before, and I just immediately just
Yeah.
oh
Yeah. Well, so that's not really.
yeah.
There's a whole community of guys that are flocking to him, and
Yeah.
just throwing money at him for like his alpha male
Yeah, dude.
material and community, and
Listen.
that's what's growing up in this world.
Yeah.
You know, that's what the world is going to be flooded with. So you have to be careful about what you're ingesting in your mind. Garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah, I was just about to say it if you didn't.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're going to ingest worldly advice, you're always going to get that worldly outcome.
Yes.
You know, and a lot of the world, especially when you're going through struggles, they're going to start feeding you some victim mentality stuff,
Yep.
or they're going to start feeding you some selfish stuff like, you don't deserve that. You don't deserve that. And you're going to start, I don't deserve that.
Yep.
So you know what? I'm going to start pushing back, and they deserve this, and this one, just like you were saying, if I'm going to go into the store, I'm going to be mad, right?
Yep.
But you're setting yourself up when you're inside those situations where I don't deserve this. So you know what I'm going to do? Next time I see that person, blah, 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 fill in the blank, right?
Yep.
We've all done it, man. But that's not, Jesus says in Matthew, he says, if somebody hits you, turn the other cheek, right?
There's actually more to that.
There is.
There
That's
is.
so loaded, dude.
There's more to that.
Yeah, and it's,
Like you got to look at that contextually and culturally at the time.
yes.
But yeah.
Yes. I think that is very circumstantial. Right?
Well,
Or
if you
situational.
take it at face value, it is.
Right. Because we've talked about this before. If you're out and about and with your family and somebody punches your wife in the face,
Hey, bro, they're getting
you
some.
are not turning.
I'm sorry.
You are not turning the other cheek on
No,
that.
I'm not gonna grab her face and be like, "Hey, listen,
yeah,
babe, here."
Yeah, no way, dude. It's not gonna fly. You know.
Nah.
But if somebody, what you actually said it on one of the podcasts, don't be a D-head.
Yeah.
If somebody's being like this to you, you don't have to be like that back to them. That's turning the other cheek, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to physical force and protecting your family, that's different.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But if somebody is calling you a doo-doo head, you don't have to turn around and call them a doo-doo head.
Yeah. I love how PG that is.
Hey, man, that's as PG as I can get.
PG-13. We said doo doo. That's no good.
You know?
Yeah.
But, wow, we got way off topic, huh?
It's all good. We hit basically everything.
Yeah.
More or less.
Yep. Yep. Oh, this
Like always, dude.
was this the proverb, right? Lazy hands make for profit, but diligent hands bring wealth. Not necessarily wealthy as in money, but
Yeah.
wealthy as in growth, gaining
Where is
value.
that one? Why don't
That's
I see that
proverb.
on here? Oh, right there.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah,
first
yeah.
one.
So what you were talking about before
Yeah.
when I said I think that's a proverb, you said God
Yeah.
will only help those who help themselves.
Yeah.
If you're lazy,
I didn't say will only. I said God helps those.
oh,
who help
well, right,
themselves.
right. Right. So if you're lazy,
Yeah.
God talks about being slothful all the time.
Yeah.
If you're going to be slothful in your ways, he's going to wait for you to want to change your ways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He doesn't want people to be slothful.
Right.
You know? So
So, ladies and gentlemen, what we're trying to say is, don't be slothful. Hit that subscribe button.
yeah, that's right.
Hit the notification icon.
Yep.
I think that was a pretty smooth transition on the
It
way
was.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, listen, if you have
Please leave a comment.
Yes.
Like, subscribe, share it.
Yes.
You know, if you heard, I mean, we got a little deep, a little emotional.
yeah.
On this
yeah,
one.
it's good though. It's good for the soul, you know.
Yeah.
Guys, definitely comment anything that you guys want to talk about or discuss,
Yeah.
or things that you want to say to us. By all means, you know.
Just be as mean as you can, or don't be actually.
Yeah, because I'm
Don't
just going
be
to turn the other cheek. And not this cheek.
No. Oh wow.
It's going to be the cheeks I'm turning.
I don't think that's very Christian, homie.
Well,
Hey.
it's like
Hey, the Bible said turn the other cheek.
Yeah,
It didn't say which
listen,
one.
listen.
It didn't specify.
PG said in a sermon one time, he said, listen, my father once said that opinions are like buttholes.
Yeah.
Everybody has
Yep.
them, but sometimes some of them stink.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's facts.
So I'm just going to turn the other cheek.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? So, all right, guys. Well, that's it for tonight.
Yeah.
Like he said, subscribe, hit the bell notifications, comment, do all that stuff. Go follow us on Instagram, actually.
Yes.
The Instagram is up and running. Peakperformance.com. Peak Performance
at
Podcast.
peak.performance.podcast.
We'll put it in the link if you guys want to follow us down there.
Yep.
Hit it, give us a like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Peace. Later.